possible for us to come to a culture where there's a perfect merger between what I want to do most right now also happens to be the most the thing that needs to be done now, that I want to have accomplished, finished, to serve some purpose. Hi everybody, and wouldn't it be wonderful if it really were everybody, all 7 billion people in the world. I died.
Sandy died on March 16th, 3 weeks after his birthday, February 24th, when we sat down to make this video.
The conditions, I hope the conditions are as good as the conditions are now. I consider myself right now in a kind of consummate ecstasy. I've refocused my whole life toward ecstasy in the sense that I think I certainly think of these last many days while I've been taking chemo and everything, and possibly the disease has been taking over my body. They have been days of ecstasy, consummate ecstasy. I couldn't go a whole lot further. I've been having a lot of fun doing a lot of things. Most of them having to do with the topic that I want to address, which is feelings, work, primal, stuff like that. But I want John to turn the camera around now and introduce himself a little bit. He's taking this. This is John Thorndike.
I come over to see Sandy and we address the topic of his dying, which of course is going to happen sometime and may happen a lot sooner than he ever expected or wanted it to. But when you get up close to it, it's so exciting. Weymouth is doing this the way I want to do it. Weymouth always is ahead of me. He's always leading. He's a little older, like 9 months or something. So we're making this video about Sandy.
Not when he's lying dead somewhere, but when he's alive, when that beautiful face is looking over at us and he's got so much to say.
My personal conviction is that just about everything that goes wrong with the human psyche originates in the cult of suppressing feelings. And it starts at birth. I believe that the message that I'm giving you now is the most important message that humans will ever receive. Well, I want to draw the entire human species into reconnecting with feelings. Pain, fear, anger, desire, joy. I wrote a book called I Am the Emperor, and the point is I am the emperor. I want everyone in the world to say, I am the emperor. We all need to reconnect with feelings, and I think we need to do it cathartically. That means when we feel anger, go ahead and go fucking batshit all the time. Find a place where you can do it. Go crazy. And I'm interested in the entire species doing this. I personally believe we're right now in the make it or break it century for the human species. Either the century is going to end with there being no human species, or if the other alternative is at the end of this century, I think we're gonna the entire unified, everybody loving everyone else human species is going to know ecstasy and paradise and nirvana beyond our wildest dreams. We've got an awful lot of the material aspects of it in place already. Those are the two choices, and I think this work makes the difference. And I believe the pivotal point, the pivot there is consumption. We are tearing this planet up. We're extracting everything we can get out of it, and there is only so much we can get. And I don't believe we're going to be able to talk ourselves out of it. I don't think we're going to be able to discipline ourselves out of it. I would love to survive this cancer crisis so that I can really do what I want to do most, which is radical drop in standard of living, and because of that, integrated with that, radical elevation of quality of life. A radically simpler life, maybe living in a tent, maybe living in before the tent in an RV. I don't know what I'm going to live in. But radically radical step down. That's where there's a real excitement for the human species is, where we're not consuming too much. The earth is the one, because that's the one we're affecting. And if you want to worship something, don't bother to worship, just take care of it. Well, I'll label myself as a radical secularist, a radical materialist. I don't think there's any level of existence beyond this material world. It's quite rich and unfathomably miraculous and beautiful enough for me. This may be chemo that's making me exhausted, but I'm afraid it might be disease. And that's why we're making this, because it, you know, I may not make it. I may not make this one. A lot of people are working hard for me right now. I'm a one fucking lucky guy. I want you to know that.
I'm very happy I could be with you this week. Oh my God, it was a great week. It really was. Oh, I think it's the chemo. So really wiped out my energy, strength.
Who are we going to call? You can call Sandy anytime, night or day, and he's there. He's still doing it. He's still doing phone sessions. It's because he wants to. I'm just worried, Sandy, that you're going to do all this stuff that you want to get done, and then you won't. He's going to die, isn't he? He's going to die. He's going to die. I want things to be fair. And I want to fix it. I want to fix it.
The presumption of this video is that I died, and when with my death my consciousness ceased to exist forever. I think one of the greatest joys in life is to be able to get behind people doing and getting what they want the most, to really contribute to their blossoming. This is not some therapy for sick people. I think I've said that. This is not therapy for sick people. This is a process. Everybody's got something. We go to church, we go to spirituality groups, we go to meditation, we go to yoga, we do all this stuff. I'm sorry, I believe this is the fundamental. This is fundamental. Try not to push, just surrender. Give up to that feeling and see if it doesn't take you to some physically cathartic processing of that feeling, where you might be crying, screaming, banging, kicking, contorting, letting your body tighten up, tight. I think this is good for feeling anxiety and fear. Oh, Jesus, I'm so goddamn worried. All the time I'm worried. Tight. I don't feel like doing it now, but I would ordinarily urge you to bring your knees up to your chest. I'm just so goddamn worried. You know, I think the best thing to do if you're angry is see if you can't grab something, a plastic baseball bat. I've got some pillars down in the basement holding up really, with everything you've got, go crazy banging against those pillars. There's something that was really fulfilling in terms of connecting with that anger and getting it up and out. The goal of this feelings work is not to feel your feelings. The goal is to have a fabulous life. All this hunger. The fact is, I wanted to be the most important man that had ever been or ever will be for humans. I wanted to be the savior. But what it turns into is something apocalyptic. I mean, that's apocalyptic. This is apocalyptic. Mike DiStefano doing his work. It's big. It's a radiant. These are radiant moments. I want to try as hard as I can to leave behind something. If I did die when we say I did, that will have left a kernel, a seed that is what I call the sublime contagion. It catches on all over the world. I want every chance I can get to get behind you, feeling and thinking what you really feel and think, and saying and doing what you want most to say and do.
Don't flee to the cancer. Surrender. Just surrender.